And she doesn't know where the gun came from.
I don't know if he found it in there, if he had it on him. I really don't know. Like, I couldn't tell you. I want people to realize that guns is nothing to play with. Like, I don't have guns. I don't carry guns. I don't have no gun. So I don't even like guns.
Dereon Reed is described as a fun-loving child who loved life.
13-year-old Dereon Reed was shot and killed on Saturday, shocking the small village of Tickfall.
She was growing up. I mean, you know, her personality was coming in more and more. So we was getting to see who Dereon was becoming. And she was just taken away far too soon.
13-year-old Dereon Reed was an outgoing, loving, and ambitious young girl who enjoyed playing basketball at Neeson Memorial Middle School. Most importantly, Dereon was the oldest of 10, a job she took very seriously. Never could anyone close to her have imagined that a simple trip to visit a friend would turn tragic. Just after 1 a.m. on July 8th, Hammond police were called to a home in the 1200 block of Willow Street for reports of a shooting. Upon arrival, they would find a hysterical group of individuals and an unresponsive young girl inside of a bedroom.
Police say the 14-year-old accidentally shot and killed the 13-year-old. It happened shortly after midnight this past Saturday.
The victim was identified as 13-year-old Dereon Reed, who was sadly pronounced dead at the scene after succumbing to a gunshot wound to the head. Although details of the shooting remain scarce, Dereon's mother informed investigators that she and Dereon were visiting friends over the weekend when the incident occurred. A group of kids were in a back room while the adults were in another room. At some point, the adults could hear the sound of a single gunshot, prompting everyone to run towards the room, where they would locate Dereon's lifeless body. Her mother immediately called 911, while the 14-year-old male suspect fled the home. According to Dereon's mother, the teen male was also visiting the home that night, but she has no idea where the gun came from or whether he brought the gun into the home himself. Her family was devastated, angry, and confused, and just wanted answers as to how this alleged accidental shooting occurred or what events led up to it.
Mama love you, Dereon. Me and your sister's gonna miss you. I can't live without my baby.
A mother in mourning.
I love her like I always tell her, and I wish I could have another time with you a lifetime.
Tanisha Badgen says her world was turned upside down on Saturday when her 13-year-old daughter, the oldest of her 10 kids, Dereon Reed, was shot and killed. Badgen says she and her daughter and a cousin were visiting a friend's house on Saturday on Willow Street in Hammond when a 14-year-old boy, Dereon's friend, showed up.
She was in the room with her, him, and a little girl and a baby. But the little girl said that the boy put the gun to her head and shot her. So I don't believe it's an accident, because if you put a gun to someone's head, you know what you're doing.
Badgen says she immediately ran in the room, calling 911. The 14-year-old boy, she says, ran outside, later telling police he had accidentally shot Reed. Reed was a basketball player at Lucille Neeson Memorial School, loved hanging out with her friends and riding four-wheelers.
I want him to feel my pain, like to feel how I feel, but you ain't gonna feel how I feel.
Making matters worse, Badgen says on Saturday, hours after the shooting, she found this screenshot in her daughter's phone that was sent to the 14-year-old boy. It's a picture of Dereon. She says someone posted on social media. In the screenshot message, Dereon responded to the person telling them to take it down because it would get her killed.
I want people to realize that guns is nothing to play with. She enjoyed doing a lot of things. She enjoyed being with me, being by my sister's house, and like going places with her friend and everything.
Neighbors consider the tragedy both sad and disturbing. Some couldn't even begin to comprehend how or why something like this would happen. They just want the violence to stop. In the days following her senseless murder, Dereon's school released the following statement. The Neeson school community was saddened to learn of the death of one of our students. The death of any young person is a loss that in one way or another affects us all. We will have the support of counselors, social workers, and other administrators on campus to help our students and community deal with the loss when school resumes. A balloon release was also held at Mount Vernon Baptist Church to honor Dereon's life, which was taken much too soon.
On this small country road in what neighbors described as a close community in Hammond, tragedy struck early Saturday morning.
It just breaks my heart, Paul. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart.
Tadanisha Taylor lives in the 1200 block of Willow Street in Hammond. Just a few doors down, she says 2 neighborhood kids, a 14-year-old boy and a 13-year-old girl, were reportedly playing with a gun and the gun went off.
Everyone here on this street, we're like a big, large family. We do things together, we take care of each other. I still just don't understand how something like this would happen.
Taylor says the violence has got to stop.
Parents, if you have guns, please lock them up. These kids are about our lives in the future. I pray for her family, but this is just so disturbing.
On Wednesday, friends, family, and classmates of Reed came together to remember her with a balloon release.
It was an accident. You know, accidents happen, but at the same time, guns are not to be played with. So we're trying to get the message through to the youth.
This is the 3rd death at this small school in Tangipahoa Parish this year. In April, 2 brothers drowned in a neighborhood pond. All 3 children attended Lucille Neeson Memorial School in Tick Falls.
God does everything for a reason. Our days are numbered.
Marquel Gordon, Dereon's cousin, said it was comforting to see everyone come together and honor their loved one.
It makes me happy and warm inside that everyone was able to get together and come and honor Dereon.
13-year-old Dereon Reed will be laid to rest on July 22nd at the Macedonia Baptist Church in Hammond. The 14-year-old male teen has been arrested and booked into the Florida Parish Juvenile Detention Center on 1 count of negligent homicide. Details of the events that led up to the shooting are still under investigation. The case remains ongoing.